Yo, the Takeaway Podcast is designed to educate and uplift outside the realm of the pulpit. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
And while y'all at it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I want you to be the first to be notified when we drop new content. And remember to hit that like button. It's free 99. Why not? And while you at it, share it. We want this to get out to Lottie Dottie and everybody.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's going on, Takeaway Podcast? It's your boy, Pastor Jarvis. I have an amazing guest here today. First of all, what are you doing? Can you like, can you comment, can you subscribe? Can you share this on whatever platform you are listening to or watching today? I would like you to share this. It's very important that we get this information out. And we're going to talk all things mental health today. Mm-hmm. And
yes.
I think that it's very important that we talk about the topic of suicide.
Yes.
Amongst other things today. Mm-hmm. And I have somebody that's well trained and equipped in this area to speak about this in our community. And thank you for being here today, Angelika, right?
Yes. Angelika.
Angelika.
Yes.
I just said that again. Yeah, Angelika. Yes. Thanks for being here with us today and on the Takeaway Podcast. Thanks for being here, but really, who do you work for and what do you do?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to be here. My name's Angelika Keene, and I work with the University of Florida Extension Office. And the Extension Office, if you're not familiar, is what they call the land-grant university for the state of Florida. And what's really cool about that is they provide community-based education on topics that are relevant to the community.
Yes.
Most people know us from like 4-H or master gardeners or pesticides or all those types of things that are pretty common. One of the newest areas is mental health. And so that's my area of expertise. And so that's what I bring to the table. And so I was really excited when you invited me to come here and kind of just talk about mental health, why it's important, what people need to know, what education's available, all that kind of good stuff. So,
and how long have you been doing that?
So I have been working in the field of mental health off and on now for 12 plus years. I have been in my current position though for the last 5 years. So it's a relatively new to the world of extension and kind of teaching it from that perspective. And kind of what's different is the fact that extension is evidence-based, which is really cool, meaning that our programs are all backed, supported, certified.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very cool. Like, so the way I like to explain it to everybody is we were Google and YouTube before they existed. But now we're Google and YouTube, and you know you're getting legit information, factual information, where you don't always know what you're getting when you Google something, or
That's amazing. So you've been in this role here for 5 years?
Yep, I've been in this role here for 5 years. Yep, I started the year the world got COVID.
Okay.
That was kind of the transition into the position and the opportunity. So it was like I got my job, and then it was like, oh, just kidding, you are all backed off, like it's COVID. So
this has nothing to do with anything, but you know what? Even though COVID was COVID and it was tough and it was rough, but the way we lived in Florida comparing to other places, oh man, it was bad. It was bad for other places. I can remember going to California and other places. San Francisco was closed down. You had to eat at restaurants outside. You couldn't even go in a restaurant. Complete sidebar. I bet you people are doing more work in your field more than ever after COVID.
Correct.
Because COVID made us sit with ourselves.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Right. We had to go home.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
We could run everywhere. Maybe if you were in Florida, you could run around. But we had to come home.
Yeah.
And deal with ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And, sometimes the scariest moments of my life has been dealing with myself,
Right.
dealing with
And
my own struggles.
Interestingly enough, not just like sit with themselves, but this idea of the opportunity to actually reflect, how do you feel without the distractions, without the run to the kids, without the deadlines.
Yeah.
We had to slow down and really determine, like, do we like ourselves? What's going on? How do we feel? And so in that reflection period of time, what the research shows is that our awareness, our mental health declined, and though our awareness of needing these conversations, wanting these conversations drastically increased.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so true. We do this thing in the neighborhood. We actually just kind of relaunched it. And so I'm in this apartment community not far from here yesterday. And so we offer homework help for the kids.
Yeah.
We could call it family support now. We have a therapist there.
Right. Yeah.
And then we have people offering emotional support.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Yeah.
dad, mom, grandparent, raised grand, just somebody to talk to in the corner, just to decompress for the day, right? And I can remember a young man, his daughter was just like not school age. I think she's like 4, not kindergarten age yet. And he was in this neighborhood. He was just gonna, not come, right? And he's somewhat familiar with us and the ministry, the work we do. And I said, man, it's a therapist in there too. This is not just for kids. This is for, he said, man, I'm going right now.
Yeah.
Like, so I say that to connect to what you said. There was this awareness of the need.
Yep.
And I think the problem, I can't speak for my whole community, but for the people I touch and work with and who I do life with, I think a lot of time people are talking about a therapist, but they're not going to therapy.
Correct.
People are talking about being open, but they're not being open. They're still guarded.
Yep.
And then I think the other side of the coin is people just don't know what to do.
Right. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. There's signs all around us, but what does that mean? Right.
There's 2 pieces to that. People don't know what to do, and they don't know how to have that conversation. So that kind of ties into what I do. So my areas of expertise is I do mental health training, 2 specific programs. One is mental health first aid, and the second is question, persuade, and refer, and that's specific for suicide. And the idea of both of those classes is teaching people what to say when they don't know what to say, because there are signs and symptoms. There's also a lot of misinformation. So
Like what?
Like one perfect example, suicide. It is a very common misconception that people don't want to ask directly because they're afraid of putting that idea in their head. And what the research shows is it's the exact opposite.
Ask.
Are
you thinking of hurting yourself?
Are you thinking of killing yourself? Are you thinking about suicide? And ask directly. Ask directly as you can, because what happens to the person that's having the suicidal ideation, that's struggling, it's a relief. Someone sees me. I'm not alone. So by asking directly, you're not putting the thought in your head. You're actually relieving the pressure of the thought that's already in their head.
Where did we get that from? Like, who said that? Who started it? You know, they say somebody said it. Like, who was the somebody that said that? Like,
to be honest, I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of confounding factors in that. I think stigma is one of the big reasons, because it's been one of those things that, there's a religious aspect with suicide. There is a shame aspect with suicide. There's a lot of emotional ties with that. And so I think there's a lot of varying reasons why people don't want to ask directly or don't want to open up.
So how do you work through that? Like the religious part, the other, but like how do you navigate through those? So as the professional, right?
So as the professional, I don't see them as conflicting.
Yeah.
I don't see them that way. So I see it as this idea of, by asking how someone's really doing, like that's basically what you're asking. When are you thinking about hurting yourself? Are you thinking about, you're really trying to figure out what's going on with that person. And we don't shy away from conversations about how you're doing. We don't shy away from conversations about, if you're physically ill, what medicines are you taking? How can we help you? What can we do? Can we cook you a casserole? We support those conversations.
Casseroles go hard too.
Right, they do.
Yeah, casseroles go hard.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So they support those conversations. And what's been really interesting is in the last 5 years, really the last 3 years since COVID, like you're talking about, this conversation's really shifted. People want to be able to have that conversation and have it directly and have
Tough
it in
conversations.
a way that's, tough conversations that's supportive.
Yeah.
And that's the big key, is this kind of shift between, oh no, we don't talk about that, to, okay, we're still not sure we want to talk about it.
that.
But if we do,
This is
how do we talk about it? So not everybody's on board with talking about it yet, and that's okay, because people have to come to things in their own time. And,
So why do you do this work? What's your story?
So my story is a little interesting. When I got this job, 2020, the world got COVID. I also got diagnosed with stage 3, almost stage 4 rectal cancer.
Wow.
So I got the job in January. By March of 2020, I was getting my first colonoscopy. And at that time, everything was shut down. They snuck me in the last minute of the colonoscopy. No one was allowed in there. And I woke up with my husband sitting next to me and went, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And they were really worried. They were very much worried because it was almost a stage 4. They weren't sure how far. They weren't sure if I was going to live, any of that. So I went through all of that. The chemo, radiation, surgery, having an ileostomy bag, having the ileostomy bag removed, having consistent scans, all of that with just me and my husband, just no support.
Wow.
So it was very survival strategy, very survival strategy. And what was interesting was when I was going through it, there was no time to process any emotion. It was just straight.
The next appointment.
Next
the
appointment.
Next thing.
Next to-do list. Next thing. Next check box. It's just next along. And having to process that with just me and my husband by myself was really, really hard.
Of course.
There was no support groups. Nobody asked me how I was feeling, so we never talked about it.
Yeah.
He didn't talk about it.
Probably
I didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
it was
nobody
super
planned it.
hard on him, because it was just us. And not that family didn't want to help. They didn't know how. And they were afraid if they came over, was that going to give me COVID? And they were super worried. Yeah. They were super worried, especially with the chemo and the radiation and the intensity they had me on, that if I got COVID, because nobody knew if I get COVID while I'm on chemo, is that a death sentence? We didn't know any of that then.
We had never COVID
We had never COVID before. We didn't know. We didn't know anything. So everybody just
stayed away
because that was all we knew to do.
Mentally, but you didn't have time to process it.
So,
but mentally, you're like,
yeah.
Nobody checking on me.
Yeah, but what was interesting about it wasn't during. I felt completely supported during, because people were checking in on phone calls. They were Zoom calling. They were, because everybody was stopped. It felt like everybody had stopped with me.
Yeah, okay,
It was an interesting perspective. It wasn't like I was looking at the world continuing. It was everybody was stopped. So even though they were dealing with COVID, I was dealing with everybody was still stuck. So I was at home, but they were at home. So everybody was at home. So it was this interesting dynamic. What the most fascinating part, and what really drove me into finding the resources I did find, the mental health first aid and the QPR, was as I started to recover. So I was, to fast forward, went through that whole cancer, all treatments, didn't get released, no evidence of cure, disease, till probably 2021, 2022. Now the expectation was get back to work, get back to life. Everything's that new normal. Yeah. So I just got swept into that new normal. And now I'm trying to process everything.
Street lights came on. You had to go in the house.
Yep.
Because you're dealing with cancer. Everybody was inside.
Yep.
Then as soon as you got better, everybody's back outside.
Everybody's back outside. And everything was just supposed to pick back up where I left off. And what I found in myself was that now I was angry. Now I was hurt. Now I was upset. Now I was loathing my own body. And what was interesting about it was I hadn't processed any of the emotional aspects of cancer. And I had a friend of mine and I was definitely struggling. And I had a friend of mine, and she reached out to me, and she was like, "You are miserable to be around as a human."
That's a good friend.
Like,
ooh, that's a good friend.
it was a good friend, and it wasn't, because her delivery was so
horrible,
harsh.
Yeah.
It was not helpful.
It was not helpful. Okay.
It was valid, but it wasn't helpful. It just made me feel worse.
Got you.
It
Did it
made
make you
me
like
feel
look at stuff
worse.
differently, or
It
not
didn't
really?
right at first, because it wasn't helpful. So it just made me even more mad.
More mad.
And what was interesting was I started talking to my husband about it and started having conversations. And he just said, and I'm like, "Do you notice this?" "I don't think I noticed it." And he's like, "Yeah, I've been noticing this. I just wasn't sure how to have this conversation." And his statement of, "I don't know how to have this conversation," made me start to self-reflect. And then once I started to self-reflect, I was like, "Oh no, it's time. It's time to go to therapy. It's time to do all that." And I did all that. And out of that healing process, like, I really started to reflect on that friend that I was like, it was amazing that she spoke up. Like, absolutely amazing that she spoke up. Absolutely. And the delivery wasn't the best. Like, there's got to be a way to do both. And so that started me diving
Both
in
hands.
too.
Both hands.
Because if it worked perfectly at the time, and it was what I needed, because she started the conversation and my husband supported the conversation. But not everybody's got two people.
Nobody has
And so,
the person bold enough to start, and then somebody that loves us enough to stay.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because people want the best version of us.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody wants that, you know. Yeah,
Well,
and we can't trust people with.
Well, and even more so than that, I think it's hard. We're not taught how to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love these two curriculums.
Yeah.
Because these two curriculums, the whole purpose is to teach you how to have those difficult conversations.
Is the mental health first aid that too? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So mental health.
Roll out that one for me.
So mental health first aid it's a national program. It comes out of the National Council of Mental Wellbeing, and it is you do 2 hours of online pre-coursework and then a full day training, and it teaches you how to recognize signs and symptoms, everything from early to crisis and everything in between, and it provides you with a tangible tool and how to have those conversations, where you feel empowered to say something, which, that was amazing. My friend did. Like, she felt empowered to, like, "Hey, I see this, you're struggling, let me call it out." And though it empowers you in a way to do it that provides the support to the other person, so that the other person doesn't feel attacked, that they're not feeling like defensive, that they actually start to reflect and process, so that you feel confident to have that conversation, and the person you're having the conversation with feels supportive enough to actually consider the resources, what you're saying. Because think about it. We do this all the time with people. We think about it day to day. If somebody comes to you and they're like, "You're looking not well." Right? "Oh, you look sick today. What is wrong with you?"
What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Like, even if you are sick, how do you feel?
How do you feel?
Like, you're
sicker.
Sicker, you're mad, you're irritated. "Yes, I'm sick. Thank you." Right? It's not helpful. Versus, "Hey, I noticed you're struggling today. Are you not feeling well?" Very different delivery.
Same thing, but very different.
But different delivery. But we're not taught these things. We're not taught how to phrase things in a way that's kind, clear, and still we have the confidence to say them.
And that's a one-day training?
That's a one-day training.
2 hour online.
2 hours online.
Okay,
Yep.
pre.
Yep, pre.
And
then 1 day training.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not to fix everything. It's this idea, it's called mental health first aid because it's very similar to CPR and first aid.
Yes.
Just like it doesn't train you to be a doctor, CPR doesn't. It's the same
Get us
idea.
ready to get to the people.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a way to start the conversation when you don't know what to say. Like I tell people, it teaches you when you don't know what to say.
Start the conversation.
Start the conversation.
How do you start the conversation when you don't know what to say?
Right. Well, that's what these classes teach you, is how to start the conversation when you don't know what to say in a way that's that supportive. Because like I said, if my friend hadn't have said it, I wouldn't be where I am here today. Like, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't be teaching this curriculum. I wouldn't have gotten the help I needed. And though, if I hadn't had my husband,
Your boo thing.
like my boo thing, like when I started getting all mad about it, saying, you know, hey, I noticed it too. I just wasn't sure how to start the conversation. Giving that supportive piece at the same time, like she called it out.
Yeah.
And then he supported the two. Like, I wouldn't be here today.
You know, it's so amazing how,
Yeah.
I guess this has everything to do with the podcast and nothing to do with podcast at the same time on topic. But what's so incredible is how we can beat certain things and then not even be clear on how to fight another thing.
Yep.
Right? Because with cancer, you know you had this and you had to do this and you had to eat this and you had to go there. And then it's like, but mentally, emotionally, I'm bottling all of this up.
Yep.
And I think we just need tools. We all need them. I mean, I'm working on myself so much, physically, mentally, spiritually. Like, I don't want to suck, for lack of a better word. Like, I want to suck. I don't want to help the world and suck at home. You know what I mean? Like, can the preacher say suck? I guess, but I don't want to be a public success and a private failure.
Right.
Right. And then you're here today, and I love what you're doing.
Right.
We're gonna talk about some dates that we have coming up.
Yep, absolutely.
And I admire the work that you're doing. And thank you, before we just move on, for sharing your own unique personal story. That was major. You did the elevator spiel with that, but that was a lot.
Yeah.
That was years of struggle, and you just poured your heart out. Thank you.
And what was interesting about that was that took me years. Like, I knew why I started this work, but that took me years to heal enough to be able to tell that story, to be able to share that. And so I think the big thing of sharing that aspect of that story was to really stress that, like, when we're struggling with mental health, it's much more common than people think.
Yes.
So 1 out of 5 adults are struggling right now with some sort of mental illness,
It's
some
only
sort
1
of
out of 5?
challenge. It's 1 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
I
1
know
out
you
of 5.
evidence based. You know what I'm saying? I know who I'm talking to. You know.
It's 1 out of
So-
5 people are currently, let me clarify, currently struggling with some kind of mental illness. And that doesn't mean it's always diagnosed. It just means they're struggling like I was.
They're struggling.
And I went through that cancer. Then, like you said, I could tell the cancer story. I couldn't tell the mental health story. But I knew that's what I want to teach. So I started teaching it. I started digging into it. I started doing it. I started healing. And then I went, wait. They're not 2 different stories. This is an opportunity to really normalize the fact that we talk about health. Like, to your point, like, you don't want to suck. We talk about health.
Yeah.
We also need to talk about mental health. They're both sides of the same coin. And really, to do that passionately, I got to tell my story too and be honest about it.
Yeah, I think what helped me was when I stopped looking at stuff as I stopped looking at stuff like it was a quick fix deal.
Yeah.
Right. So I started looking at my health physically as a marathon.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go to gym the rest of my life.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this the rest of my life. Okay, it's rocky now, but I'm gonna just see my therapist every month.
Yeah.
Like tune up in rotation, tune up oil change, tire rotation.
Yeah.
Mental health therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Great. We do it for our cars.
Yeah. So it's not a crisis,
Yeah.
right? And in my field of work
Yep.
and in the community I lead, I'm like top tier crisis dude.
Yeah.
They bring crisis, but my life can't be a crisis.
Absolutely.
Right. And we plan around. We plan for and through and around crisis. But so one of the main reasons we're having this conversation today is because this is affecting the community I live, pastor, work in, and I'm not hearing enough about it.
Yeah.
And then when I do hear something about mental health or suicide prevention month or suicide awareness, when I do hear about it, there's never any actual tools given to regular folks. I tell people all the time, I'm regular 87 gas. I'm not 93. I'm regular for regular people dealing with the same issues. how do I empower my congregation?
Yeah.
Do I empower this community to be able to address or come alongside? And so we talked about mental health first aid.
Yep.
And then we have
the question, persuade, refer, and
QPR.
that's QPR, and that is a suicide prevention. So that mental health first aid covers all things mental health. Suicide prevention is a shorter training. It's 2 hours. And the idea is still the same principle, but it's just how to recognize the signs and symptoms, and then how to have that conversation with someone that is experiencing suicidal ideation. And what's interesting about, like we talked about, there's a lot of myths around suicide. You're not putting that idea in their head. And so overcoming some of those things first so that you feel empowered to have the conversation, and then knowing what to say. Maybe they're not in crisis yet, maybe they are. How do you intervene? And the hope is that we're intervening earlier.
Because we noticed it.
Correct.
Okay.
We're learning how to have these conversations earlier, because, if it takes 6 weeks on average to get to a therapist, you can't wait 6 weeks in crisis.
Yeah.
You can wait 6 weeks struggling.
Yes.
You can wait. It's not great.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not good.
Yeah.
But you can do it. You can do hard things. Yeah. You can't wait when you're in crisis. And so,
what are we looking for? What are dose me with a little bit. What are we looking for?
With suicide, there's a variety of different symptoms. It can be things like just talking about suicide. It can be things like looking up suicide. It can be things of actually planning how to accomplish it. It can be even just the thoughts and feelings of hopelessness and lonely. So it can look like, some of the early signs and symptoms can just look like disinterest. Like I said, going back to my story, I was so angry and I was so bitter that I had no joy because of everything. And I was depressed and I was all of those things, but I didn't realize it because I was just like, well, I had survived cancer. I have no reason to be sad. That was the argument I told myself. That was the struggle that was going on in my head. Yeah. In reality, I had physically survived cancer. I hadn't emotionally processed anything. And so those were just some of the early signs and symptoms that, may have, if somebody hadn't intervened, may have been a very different conversation, may have been a very different story. And so that's the idea, is teaching people the tools to have those conversations earlier, how to recognize, like I said, with suicide, there's so many different signs and symptoms because there isn't a one size fits all. And though research shows there are some commonalities that people that attempt suicide and survive will say these are some of the common things that they were feeling, these are some of the common thoughts they were doing, these are some of the common behaviors they engaged in, and that's what we're teaching. We're teaching those commonalities so that you know what to look for, and then how to engage, but also introduce you to resources, because you might be recognizing, but if you don't know where to find people, or you don't know where to do or how to connect, then that's not helpful either. Pointing it out and then just walking away.
Yeah. How your friend did. Are y'all still friends?
Yes.
Okay. You went back, got her straight to me?
Yeah, no, like I said, I was one of those at the time. I was so mad. And now I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But,
thank you. But thank you. 100% thank you for speaking up. Thank you for saying something. Thank you. I don't know if I'd be here today. Thank you. Legit. Thank you. And though, can we work on the delivery?
Stop. Do better.
And though, but that's also part of it, is not shaming what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Not, because that just continues that stigma cycle. She did the best she could with the information she had, and I'm so grateful for that. And as we know better, we do better. So it's this opportunity for everybody. No matter what your past experience is, no matter what you've said or not said, or wish you'd said or not said in the past, we have this opportunity to grow and do better. And that, I think, speaks to your point, like we were talking about earlier, that connection between that physical, that spiritual, that emotional. They're all intertwined because we're all looking to be better. And these are different ways to get there. And different tools that complement each other.
And I mean, the road has been, the road has been the blueprint is
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't need to become a therapist,
Right.
but I do need to equip myself. So I guess we have the 22nd of September
Correct. Yep.
already scheduled, and
Yep.
possibly if there's more than 30 that sign up,
Correct. Yep.
then they would possibly the following week,
Yep.
Monday the 29th.
Yep. Monday
So
the 29th.
we have that in place?
Yes, we do.
And some of that information will be on the bottom of the screen. I'm sure the dude that's recording us gonna make sure we good, because that's what he do.
Right.
He does
Yep.
this. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Soap Studio, son of a preacher man. Yes, sir. So, but if you were talking to someone or hearing this side of the couch, right?
Yeah.
Do you prefer they go to both? Do you prefer they go to one? Do you prefer it's either or? What's this track to help our community with this stigma? Yeah.
I think you go to what you're comfortable. I think part of addressing stigma is first identifying what your barriers are. Like what do you say? What are your statements? What do you believe? And then what are you comfortable with?
Gotcha.
Because if you come to either class and you're like, I don't believe this. This isn't going to work. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
You're not
You're
going
not
to
take anything with you. That's right.
You're not going to be on board with it. But if you come in with I'm not sure, I don't know if this is the right class, and I'm willing to give it a try, now you're going to walk away with the tool, because you're going to walk away with something. And so I think it's just a matter of people's comfort. That's why I teach both.
Yeah.
That's why I provide both. Because like I said, we have our date, the QPR, on the September 22nd, and I have a mental health first aid class at my office in the University of Florida Extension office in Cocoa on September 25th.
Okay.
So for the month of September, like, I'm doing both.
Yeah,
I
you're
try
doing
to
both.
regularly offer both so that people can pick and choose what tool they want to
Do people
use.
come to both? Have you ever had a person that came to both?
I actually have. I've had a couple people that have come to a variety of different. So for example, the mental health first aid has an adult mental health first aid version, and that's adults speaking to adults. And then there's a youth version, and that's adults talking to
We didn't
youth.
talk about that.
We didn't. I forgot to tell you about that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the same tool, the same idea, but this is how adults
Geared
should talk
toward
to
youth.
youth, because that's
Wow.
a very different
I'm coming
conversation.
for that one too. Yeah, I'm coming
Right.
for that. Yeah.
And so I've had people that have come to the adult mental health first aid, the youth mental health first aid, and the QPR, because they're all different. It's like tools in a toolbox.
Okay, so I don't get QPR just because I did mental health first aid. I don't get that. Okay, well, that's the answer.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need-
they're
we
all
need to do
different
all- yeah.
tools. They're all but it's like a tool, like an actual toolbox. You know how you have different tools for
Yeah.
different situations?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use them.
I don't
Anybody-
use them either. Like, that's what I was like
I'm
trying to come up with. I was like,
I-
what do you call those?
Yeah, I'm stimulating the economy. I'm not pulling no tools out and fixing it. Let me build a program. I'm not fixing the
I know, that's why I'm
cabinets.
like, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm trying to name a tool. I'm like, I don't have one.
I seen it. It's QPR. That's your tool.
Yes. You want to talk emotional tools? I got
Oh,
you
God.
covered. You want to talk
That is
physical
so
tools,
funny.
how to fix them? I can't help
Oh
you.
God! And it used to be a point like, so man, you think every man has to have a truck and that. Man, I could care less. I'm calling the plumber.
Oh, me too.
I'm calling the handyman. No, I don't know how to fix it, and I'm not gonna waste your time or hurt this thing worse. And I think that's what we're doing. This is a perfect analogy.
Right.
I think that's what we're doing a lot. It's untrained people trying to diagnose other people
Correct.
and trying to practice on people
Right.
where they have not been trained.
Correct.
So this is training. Ooh, bars. This is training for reigning, right?
Right.
So Suicide Awareness Month, QPR,
Yep.
mental health first aid,
Yep.
mental health first aid for kids.
Yep.
You got it.
Yeah. Yep.
It's on.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
let's do something fun now, right quick. So
Okay.
all of this has been fun. But what's your favorite music? What's your favorite artist? I don't care
Oh.
whatever genre.
Artist. That's tough because I love all music.
Okay,
Like,
okay. Well, you can pick like two.
Okay, two. Let's see. What are we listening to? And I say we because my husband's is equally as eclectic
Yes,
as I am.
yes, yes.
We listen to, let's see, right now we've been listening to a lot of postmodern jukebox.
Okay.
Super well them. We like a lot of them. All the way to like we listen to like country,
Yeah.
classical, like
The whole
they're
nine.
the
Okay.
whole nine. The
Okay.
scream rock, the scream emo. Like there isn't probably a genre that we don't listen.
Y'all did
to.
Boots on the Ground yet?
We did.
Okay.
I love that. We're fans at.
I love the fans took over. The fans took
They
over.
did.
The fans took over. Look, you went right to it too.
I did.
You didn't know that toolbox. Where them fans?
Like I said, I got
Yeah,
something.
where they at? Yeah. I love it.
So,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do want to clarify one point though that you said is all these people out there diagnosing. The cool thing about this tool is this tool doesn't teach you to diaggnose. It
No,
doesn't teach
not
you
at
to
all.
teach.
Yeah.
Like to train. That is not like
first aid.
It's just first aid.
Yeah, let me
and
get
so
you-
let's get you
Yeah.
to those professionals.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
get you
Oh,
to
yeah.
those people you need. And so I think that's why I love it so much is
Okay.
because it's that connector. It's that piece to bridge the gap between people like knowing they're struggling and maybe they don't know they're struggling and the services.
Yeah,
connecting.
that's very good. That's
Yeah.
very good. And this is important and this needs to happen.
Yep.
And it's happening.
It's happening.
It's
Yep.
happening. So we had this block party scheduled for the day after Labor Day.
Yep.
Right? And it's a Tuesday and it's gonna be, food trucks and food and there's going to be a comedian there,
That's
to come in with a comedian and somebody's really going to speak on this topic,
Yeah.
right? And I want to invite you out to that.
Okay.
And, to be a part of that even more. And this has been an amazing
Yes.
time. Anything you want to ask me? Anything?
I guess my question is how did you get into this?
So Tanya Thomas,
Okay.
single mom,
Okay.
4 kids, soccer mom.
Wow. Okay.
She's human resource manager on her job. It's the first year I'm open as a church in
Right.
Brevard County. I don't know anybody here. We finally get a little growth spurt, a little baby one.
Yep.
And she had just hired 9 people from our church.
Right.
She's human resource manager. She works for Ringco Electronics.
Okay.
And in Rockledge, I am celebrating my son that was murdered. I'm celebrating his birthday out of town. I don't think I've ever told this story on camera, and I need to.
Okay.
She says, she would give to the church and stuff, but she asked me for the church account number, and I would always tell her, come to church. That was my deal. That was before
Right.
COVID, and everything's digital now.
Yeah.
Now we don't even pass buckets anymore. People just scan a code or drop it in a box on the wall
do.
on their way out. So, and I didn't answer because I was obviously celebrating my son. You
Yeah.
gotta know how to turn it off. And we ended up staying in a hotel there, and we drove back home and dropped my wife off to work. And when I got to the driveway of my house, I was overwhelmed with calls from different people. Pastor, I know that's not Tanya. Is that Tanya? This is Tuesday morning, or was it Monday morning? This is Tuesday morning.
Right.
Tanya was at the altar at church receiving prayer after I preached with her daughter and all of her son and all of her kids. And less than 48 hours later, in Port St. John on Faith Street, she killed herself and killed all 4 of her children.
Oh, wow.
Black women do a lot of things. I come from a black mom. This is not about color. I don't see
No.
color. I love people. But black women don't kill their kids. They kill husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends.
Right.
I had never known of someone that just not an abortion. I mean,
Right.
physically killing multiple kids. And this was an amazing woman. Oh, she was so special.
Right.
She was so close to my wife and I. And we started support groups, and we still have them running now. Smile, Single Mothers, Intervening Lives Effectively. Some women in our church started that, and we've been supporting it for years. And we got to get tools to help people.
Yeah.
And I'm a decent preacher, right? My heart is better than my sermon sometimes, right? And
Yeah.
all joke, I really love people, but man, everything cannot just be solved. God gives us tools and resources, and if I'm gonna be out here on the front line,
Right.
dealing with real life stuff,
Yeah.
man, we got to get equipped
Yeah.
to even have a chance.
Yeah.
And that rocked me. It still rocks me talking about it. And it was, the week after Mother's Day. Like, I mean, like, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. And there are people sitting in my congregation. There are people that follow me online. And there are people that I come in contact with every day.
Right.
That could be Tanya.
Yeah.
And I want to do better.
Right.
Yeah, I want to do better. And I quit that day. I quit about 6-7 times a year. I quit preaching. I said I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna drive a forklift or something,
Right.
and get me some overtime. But that's why this is important to me. It's
Yeah.
not a check on a list for a day. It's not another big event. My church is full. I have to add another service to get more people into it. I'm not trying to. It's not about my ego.
Yeah.
It's about giving the community the tools so we can come close
Right.
to conquering
Yeah.
what's going on. Will we save everybody? No.
No.
Will everybody come to the training? No. But at least we tried.
Right. And even then, research shows that, you can do all the right things. And if somebody is determined,
Yeah.
they may still die by suicide.
Yeah.
And though there is a good opportunity with the tools to intervene. And that's not
Yes.
to say that, maybe it had the tools, maybe it would have been different, maybe it wouldn't have. But that's a very hard story. And, thank you for sharing, because that, I'm sure, resonates with a lot of people, because suicide impacts a lot more people than everyone knows somebody or has thought it through or considered it or had some sort of feelings around it or know somebody that has or know somebody that did it. It's a lot more common. And so that's very powerful to share that story openly.
You don't know how many years I lived nervous.
Right.
Like I categorize people by Tanya.
Right.
Right. And I mean, and when it happened, right?
Yeah.
And it was, I quit. That was my first year open as a church, and that happened.
Right.
In a new county where I knew nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I do a lot of funerals.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's my little spiel, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this has been amazing. Anything else you want to ask me? Anything?
Yeah, I guess just you said you quit, and then what brought you back?
So
You
I
said-
quit in my head. I never
Okay, you never
I've
actually
never
quit.
actually
Okay.
quit,
Yeah.
but in my head, I quit. You know, it's like, nah, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Man, it's not making a difference. I've done that a lot. Yeah, so, yeah. I had another friend that killed herself, too, and killed his girlfriend, and it's happening, and once again, we're not talking about it.
Right, we're not talking about it.
We're not talking about it.
Yeah.
And when we talk about it, we don't offer solutionary was my word last year. That was my 2024 word. Solutionary.
So do you have a word a year? Is this like
I do have a word a year.
Okay.
I do have
All right.
a word. I do have a word a year.
Okay.
So this year is all about collaboration.
Oh, I like that.
This year is about collaboration. So it's crazy. We talked about cancer. I had the Mayo Clinic at the church.
Yeah.
Completely sidebar. And training people to be advocates. And I came down from Jacksonville. We had a bunch of people sign up for that. So, and went through the training. So, I mean, I just feel like there's things our community is dealing with.
Yeah.
And we need to address them.
Right.
With the best way we can.
Right.
Yeah. Completely sidebar. But Brevard County is the top county in the state of Florida for fentanyl. For people dying.
Wow. Yeah.
It ain't on the news.
Yeah.
Anybody talking about it? Fentanyl day is in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's this month.
Right.
We're doing a whole thing around it, and we're going to talk about it because our loved ones are dying of fentanyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
yeah.
a lot of times, I think people think that it's conflicting issues: cancer, the fentanyl, the suicide. They're all separate. They're not.
They're
We're
not.
all human.
We all human.
So we're all struggling. And I think the more we normalize that, like that statement to me, it's okay not to be okay. I remember the first time somebody told me that. And I was like, what do you mean? It's not okay. It's okay not to be okay. Like, of course I know that.
Yeah.
And I reflected on that, and what that statement means to me is it's okay to have multiple emotions at once. It's okay to be grateful I survived cancer and mad at my body for giving it to me.
Yes.
And struggling because I'm stressed about bills, and thankful I have food on the table. And so they're not these conflicting things.
It's life.
It's just life. And the more we empower life, the more we have opportunities to enjoy it, to find the good, to grow, to connect. So I love that you picked the word solutionary and the collaboration this year, because that's a really interesting kind of tie.
I'm not gonna be out here this Lone Ranger trying to do stuff myself.
Right.
It's people sitting somewhere that wanted to help the same people I'm trying to help.
Right.
I'm gonna go find them. Let's work together.
Let's work together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's work together. Let's work together.
Right.
So can you take a few, however long you need, look at that camera, talk to the takeaway folks, invite them to the training, invite them to your world.
Yeah.
And just as we close out today.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So thank you again for joining me today on the Takeaway Podcast. I just want to reach out to you and say that if anything we talked about resonates to you, I encourage you to consider, 1, that you're not alone. 2, that everything you're feeling is valid. And let me stress that. Everything you're feeling is valid. Your perspective is valid. That doesn't mean someone else's isn't valid too. It means what you're going through is important as well. And so I encourage you to, connect to the resources, whether that be coming to the QPR training that we're going to be offering, whether that be coming to mental health first aid, whether that be reaching out to that friend or family member that you always, connect with and vent to, whether that be connecting to a professional. If somebody, if you're struggling and somebody hasn't told you it's okay, I'm here to tell you it's okay. There are professionals out there that can help you and connect you to the support, because recovery is possible no matter what we're talking about. Whether we're talking about physical illnesses, mental illnesses, substance use, recovery is possible. And I want you to feel empowered to know that and get the resources and help you need. And I want to be here, as well as there's a lot of others that want to help you as well. And so that's I hope, your takeaway that you have for this month.
It's been real. That's it. What do you do after that? You just drop the mic. Even though the mic is in my shirt. Okay. So it's been amazing. Please like, comment, subscribe, share on whatever media platform. All the information is on the screen. And we'll see you next time.